What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new Poppy Playtime comic book that they released over on their Twitter page, which gives us some interesting lore and a very dark thing that happens to Bunzo Bunny, and even maybe a hint at Chapter 3. So this is going to be a fun video. We're going to be reacting to the entire comic book, reading through it, and seeing what it has in store for us. Now, I have seen the final image, but I haven't actually read anything else in this, so this is going to be my first reaction, and I think it's going to be a fun video. But of course, if you guys are new to the channel and you like Poppy Playtime, be sure to subscribe right now. You will not regret it. As you guys know, we've covered all the other games in the past, and we cover them quick, we cover them fast, and we get all the secrets and stuff like that, so be sure to get subscribed. Anyways, let's go ahead and give this comic book a read. So here we are with the first page of the comic book, with Bunzo saying, "Howdy, friend. The name's Bunzo Bunny. I'm on an egg hunt, and I need your help to find the secret eggs. I think one of my pals might have a clue." So it looks like he's got a little bucket right there, which he calls Bucky, and as you guys can see, it's got eyes right there. It might even speak, who knows. And here he is. So he's wondering, who should he ask for clues on where to find the secret eggs? And it looks like we have our good old pal Oxyboo, we've got Pugapillar on the top right, and we've got Bron, who is just kind of showing us his tail right now. So what's interesting about this comic book is they actually asked everyone on Twitter, and they let them decide where this comic book leads to. So you had the choice of either going with Boxy, which I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a horrible idea, going with Pugapillar, which also seems like a horrible idea. If you guys have played Chapter 2 or Project Playtime, these are two characters that I would not trust. Or you have the choice of going with Bron, who I would 100% trust. I mean, we haven't seen anything yet in any of the chapters that has given us any reason not to trust him. He doesn't look very scary. He looks like a nice, friendly guy. So the people decided, though, and they decided to go with Bron. So let's see what happens. So he walks up to Bron and he says, "I'll ask Bron. He's so tall, he can probably see all the hiding spots. Howdy, Bron. Have you seen any secret eggs? Bucky and I are on a hunt." "Hey, Bunzo, that sounds like fun. I think I saw one hidden up on the catwalks in the game station. Did you hear that, Bucky? Let's go." Later that day, "Eggy, eggy, eggs." I guess that's what he says as he's walking around. "Sniff, sniff, I smell an egg, Bucky. But Bron said to go to the game station. What should I do?" So we're left with this little bit of a, an intriguing situation right here. He walks up to this door, which is completely locked. Obviously, there's something hidden behind there, but you can crawl underneath, and he smells something. So it smells like an egg, but obviously it's a locked off room. Bron said, don't go there. I mean, right here, he says, it's hidden up on the catwalk in the game station. Don't go anywhere else, but we do have the option. So obviously they let Twitter decide, and, well, you know what they did. All right, they want to go down behind the locked door and see what's on the other side, so let's find out. So heading inside the room, Bunzo says the following: "Just a quick peek. I can come back later. It's really dark. Look, there's an egg, but it's so high up. How do I get the egg?" So he walks into this area, which, I mean, the fact that he had to crawl under that door kind of tells you everything you need to know. He shouldn't be in there. It was barricaded off. It's really dark in there, as he says right here. And then he finds an egg all the way on the top of this conveyor belt up there, which, why is that up there? I feel like that's almost like a trap, like someone set that up there for him to, like, go in there and try to find it. Now, he sees it, it's really high up. But what's interesting about this image is you can see a grab pack on the ground right here. You guys see it right there? So he asked, "How do I get the egg?" And obviously they asked Twitter this, and I mean, the obvious answer is, grab the grab pack, right? Because, I mean, he could try to climb these boxes right here on the left side, but there's no way he's making it up there. Like, literally no other way of getting up there besides using a grab pack. But using a grab pack on an egg seems like a horrible idea, but let's see what Twitter said. So we had the option of either stacking the boxes, throwing Bucky, which is the bucket, which wouldn't work, or using the grab pack. And the people chose use the grab pack. So here we go. This grab pack should do the trick. I got it. So he grabbed the egg. Okay, not looking so bad. Wonder what's inside. Oh, yeah, look at that face right there. That is the face of someone that just did something horrible. And that is what's inside right there. He completely crushed the egg. He killed what was in there, which I don't know what these are eggs for. That kind of raises the question, because it looks like a bird almost, right? Like, it looks like a baby little bird right there. But regardless, he crushed the egg on accident, and you can see by his face, he did not mean to do that. Bunzo seems like such a nice guy, but I mean, if you guys have played Chapter 2, when he's floating down from the ceiling coming to kill you, he's not a very nice guy, unless that wasn't him. I don't know. Regardless, though, he crushed what was inside the egg and completely killed it, so that's not good. After crushing the egg, he says the following: "Don't worry, little birdie, I'll help you." And he slips and falls somewhere very far down into this gigantic hole. He's slipping down it. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, he ends up in this room. Now, this looks like somewhere deep underground the factory, or underground in the factory. We've been pretty far down in there, but we know that place is huge and it goes far down. So he falls, he drops Bucky the bucket, he drops everything in there, and a flashlight is just pointed at him. He's very bloodied up, very beaten up, and it's not looking too good for him. So he goes, he falls, opens his eyes, and he's trapped. He just says, help. You know, he just fell down this hole. No one knows he's down here. Bron has no idea. No one there knows that he's down here, and he has no way of getting out. So while being trapped down there, they gave him a few options, okay? They let the people decide. You can either call for help, which, I mean, no one's gonna find you. You could sit there and just give up, or, you know, just kind of hope for the best. And it looks like, yeah, he's just sitting there. You can tell he's very beat up right here. Very beat up, torn up. There's cotton coming out of his head. He's got cuts and bruises, and he's surprisingly bleeding, which I don't fully understand how that's happening. Because, you know, I mean, look, there's cotton coming out of his ear right there, but then he's got blood all over him, so, and around his mouth. So it's not like he fell into it. It's like he's physically bleeding, which is very interesting. So my guess is, because as you guys know, they put Bron's soul inside of, or they put someone inside of Bron's soul. It was someone who had cancer, he was going to die, and they just put him inside Bron, and he became like this living creature, really, but he had no idea what happened to him. So my guess is maybe they put someone's soul inside of Bunzo, and they just assumed this was their life. You know, maybe it was a child, and that's why they were hopping around looking for eggs, just trying to have a good time, you know, and they end up down here, which is kind of disturbing to think about if that is a kid in there that has now fallen down into this hole and is now trapped. Now, it doesn't look like he can move, because as you guys can tell, like, all of his stuff fell all over the place. He just kind of left it there. There's even some drawings right there, which is kind of interesting, but he's bloodied up. He can't move. He's trapped in this hole, and it looks like there's some kind of weird writing on the wall right here. So let's see what happens. So as the days progress, he begins shouting, help me, because he's obviously stuck down here. He doesn't know what to do. He can't move. He's bloodied up. Help me. He's just screaming it all the way to the top of this, and all you hear is that. A very little whisper of him saying help. He's fallen so far down that nobody can hear him. And he's in a room that's locked away that no one's supposed to be inside of in the first place. So the chances of him being found are very, very slim. Now, my question is, who put that egg up there, though? Because they had to have known he was looking for eggs, right? Like, why would there just be a random egg up on a conveyor belt? It almost seems like he was set up. Anyways, as we go down to the final image, he's trapped. Once again, nothing he can do. Just forced to sit there and hope that someone can find him. But the blood is starting to pile up, and it's not looking too good. The days go by. It's now been 15 days that he's been down in this hole. He hasn't eaten. I don't know if they even do eat. He's got his little, like, crayon right there in his hand, and he's just been sitting there doing nothing. He literally can't do anything about it. I'm guessing his legs are probably broken from a fall that big, and he's forced to just sit there and just wait until someone eventually finds him. Now, if this is some kind of, like, room that he's in, or some kind of, like, you know, jail cell almost, this has to be a setup, right? Like, somebody put this here, there's slide that just leads to, like, nothing. There's no garbage down here, so it's not like it's for, like, garbage that they throw down this hole and then, you know, it just stacks up down there and then they eventually get rid of it. No, this seems like it was like a trap almost, but he's just sitting there rotting away for 15 days. Now, this is where things get dark. As you guys can tell, our boy Bunzo is dead. The end. We get a little the end right there, and that's what Bunzo looks like now, completely torn apart. And they changed it from, like, this comic book style art, you know, to, like, an actual, like, it looks like it's like an in-game screenshot almost. And what's interesting about this photo is, well, first of all, he looks horrifying, but he's sitting there, he's stuck, and look at his eyes, though. His eyes have been torn out. Now, as you guys know, the experiment from the end of chapter 2, whenever, you know, Mommy Longlegs gets thrown into the, you know, the thing where it, like, crushes her body, she says that it's going to turn him, or he's going to take a part of her and, like, turn it into him or something like that. Basically, he says that, you know, the main antagonist, we don't really know much about him, but I think it's experiment 1006, if I'm not mistaken, but he's been taking pieces from different characters and, you know, using them for his body. And it seems like he stole Bunzo's eyes, which means this thing has been walking around with no eyesight and has just been causing chaos. Now, I don't think it really needs eyesight for a monster like this, but yeah, so it stole his eyes and it left him down here to rot. Now, this thing obviously built this area for him to fall into, right? I mean, at least you'd assume, because, like, how else would he know he's down here? The experiment must have known, There's also scratch marks on the wall right here, which is very interesting. But yeah, it looks like something was down there tearing up the walls. I don't think it was Bunzo because he can't really move. I mean, you could tell his legs are pretty broken. So something was down here scratching up the walls, tearing it up. And what's interesting about this image, though, look at this. Right here, there's a picture of the drawing that we saw. Like, what? How is that possible? Who put that there? So, like, somebody was drawing him? Or is that, like, someone took a picture of him and was monitoring him, maybe? Maybe there was, like, a camera in there that he didn't notice and it was just taking pictures of him. But why would they leave that there, you know? And why are they drawing him? Or was he drawing himself, maybe? Because he did have a crayon in his hand, but it's just such a weird thing to have here. Now, there's another one over here, if you guys notice. So, I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, that's very strange. But regardless, that is the end of Bunzo. Now, they released this on the day that they released the Bunzo's Extravaganza event in Project Playtime, but obviously that kind of stuff didn't happen in Project Playtime. And also the whole eyes being missing thing, I think this is a hint at Chapter 5. Now, this was also released before the Bron teaser that we got, where, you know, we could see that they were putting people inside of the toys, and they put someone inside of Bron. So my guess is, like I said, I think they shoved somebody inside of Bunzo. Just like Bron, he lost all of his memory. He didn't know what was happening. He just kind of woke up inside of a toy. But this one was obviously a little bit more happy, you know, at the start. He was just going around the Playtime Co-Factory and hunting for eggs, which who set these eggs up? Once again, we don't really know. And my guess is, though, Experiment 1006, which I think that's what it's called, was going around and he's like setting up different traps for different characters that he wants different parts from them. For, like, you know, he wanted Bunzo's eyes, so he knew that Bunzo liked egg hunting. So he went around, placed eggs in certain areas, and set up a trap for him and got him to fall down here. And then obviously he could take different parts that he needed from him, which, like I said, it looks like he only needed his eyes, which is pretty dark. But regardless, it was a pretty cool comic book. I like that they're doing stuff like this. It seems like they're definitely doing like a lot to like keep the audience intrigued and keep the audience guessing as to what's going on. But yeah, I think Chapter 3 is going to be a much darker game than what we expect. Like Chapter 2 was, you know, it seems like they're slowly getting darker and darker because people were saying, oh, this is just like a kid's game, blah, blah, blah. And I have a feeling with Chapter 3, they're going to prove that this is not going to be a kids game for very long. Like I think they're gonna go pretty dark, especially what we've seen in terms of teasers like this, and of course Bron, what happened to him. That was a very disturbing video. So yeah, I'm excited for the future. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe right now if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.